both of them are 2. What you cannot do is call this x1 and this y2. Right? That is not allowed. That will give you the wrong answer. Yes, Sadullah, I'll write it here as well. The horizontal axis is the x-axis, right? The horizontal axis, like I marked it here as well, this is horizontal. The vertical axis is the rise, basically. This axis is the y-axis. Okay, now what I do is I just replace these values in my formula. So my y2 is 5, as you can see, minus my y1 is 1, divided by my x2 is 4, minus my x1 is 2. So if you look at these values, I get the same values, right? So if you put this in your calculator or you do it mentally as well, you get the same answer. Is this clear? This is how we use, or this is how we find the gradient. Okay, now Hamdan has asked a great question. He's saying to get the answer, to get the gradient, can I take any value on this straight line that I have? Yes, you can. You get the same answer as long as it is on this straight line. So for example, you could have taken this point as well. The x coordinate here would be 3, comma, the y coordinate in this case would also be 3. You can take this point, but make sure it is a whole number so that it's easier for us to calculate values. You could have taken this coordinate as well. If we come down from here, the x coordinate here would be 5, comma, the y coordinate here would be 7. You can find the answer, like you can find the gradient of this. I'll call this x1, y1, x2, y2. I'll apply the formula. My formula is m, lowercase m for gradient, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. My y2 is 7 minus my y1 is 3 divided by my x2 is 5 minus my x1 is 3. This gives us 4 divided by 2. So this would also give us 2. So you can see you can take any values on this straight line. Any values on this straight line, you get the same answer for gradient. Yes, Sadullah will do it next. But do you understand this part? So we have done 3 formulas up till now. Length of a straight line or distance between 2 points, same thing. Next was midpoint, and the third is gradient of a straight line. This is our formula for gradient of a straight line. So make sure you memorize this. This is the formula for gradient of a straight line. This needs to be memorized. Any doubts up till now? No, we'll focus on the concepts today, Abdullah. Maybe at the end, if we get like a few minutes, we can do a question or two. First, I need to teach the concepts, I need to teach you implementation in past paper questions. Then I'd expect you to solve them on your own. Last formula of the day. Although there are a couple of other concepts as well, which we need to do. But the formula part, this is the last one. For straight line, this is known as equation of a straight line. Equation of a straight line. For equation of a straight line, our formula is y is equal to mx plus c. This m we just discussed. M is the gradient, right? Slope. We just found, did the formula how to find gradient. This c here is the y-intercept. Now, what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is the point where a line crosses the y-axis. You see, this is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. So what's the y-intercept of this line which has been drawn here? Where does it cross the y-axis? This is the y-axis. Where does it cross the y-axis? Yes, it crosses the y-axis at 1, you see, 1 plus 1. So this is our C. C is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. I'll make another line, a random line, to see if you guys actually understood this. Let's suppose I have another line. I have another line. This is my other line. What is its y-intercept? What is the y-intercept of this line which I drew? Where it crosses the y-axis. Now, 4. This is 4, right? It doesn't cross at 4. It crosses at 3. You see, here our C is equal to 3. Y-intercept is the point where it crosses the y-axis. We call it y-intercept. C is the y-intercept. I'll make another line just to see if this is making sense. Okay, now what's my y-intercept? What's my y-intercept? Wherever it crosses the y-axis. Now here the C is -5 because you can see it crosses the y-axis at -5. M is the gradient. How do we find the gradient? I showed you on the other slide, on the previous slide, how to find the gradient. And y-intercept, if you have been given the graph, you just directly check where it crosses the y-axis. That would be your y-intercept. For this particular graph, it is 1. Y-intercept is +1. This is our formula, y is equal to mx plus c. This is a standardized formula for every equation of a straight line. M would be the gradient, C would be the y-intercept always. Now, what do we mean by this y and x? Y and x is any point on this straight line. So if I take, for example, this coordinate here, I'm focusing on this coordinate. What's my x-axis value? 1, comma, what's my y-axis value? 3. So here my x is 1, my y is 3. So I can replace this x and y value in this equation, like replace 3, like y with 3, x with 1. Or I can take another coordinate as well. So for example, I take this coordinate here. The x-axis value is up here, -3. My x coordinate is -3. My y coordinate is -5. So I can replace, like this is x, this is y. I can replace these values in this formula, x and y coordinates. So this is what it tells us. X and y can be any coordinates on this line. Yes, lowercase m is the gradient. M is the gradient as has been marked here as well. You see, m is the gradient. So our formula is y is equal to mx plus c. For these equation of straight lines, what we need to do is we need to solve m and c. We somehow need to find a way to solve m and c and write it in our equation. That becomes our answer to the straight line. We do not have to write the values of y and x. We only need to solve m, which is the gradient. We just did gradient on the previous slide. This was gradient of a straight line, right, Asma? This was gradient of a straight line. So we just solve the gradient and we solve the y-intercept and we write it or replace m here with the gradient, a y-intercept, like c with the y-intercept value, and that becomes our answer. Can we pick any point and put its y and x values? Yes. Yes. But what you cannot do, Inza, like this coordinate was 1, 3, and this coordinate here is -2, -3. Either you take x and y coordinates of this point. What you cannot do is like taking x coordinate of this point and y coordinate of this point. That you cannot do. Both x and y coordinates have to be of the same point. Same, right? So you can take any coordinates on that straight line. Okay, so for this particular question, our y-intercept is clear, which you guys recognized is 1.